The topic in this video will be arrays. The task is to think about what happens if we need many variables of the same type, like for example 10 integer variables. I wrote them down like I would declare and define them in Java at the moment. So these are the variables from i0 to i9. When is it possible that a situation occurs in which we need so many variables? For example, if we want to save the age of 10 persons. In this case, you need a minimum of 10 variables that can save different values for ages as an integer. This variant, to save ages for different persons in single variables, which have to have an individual name like i0, i1 or i2, is very incommodious if it is necessary to save many ages at once. Let's say the ages of 10,000 people. That isn't practical anymore. Another variant are arrays. Using arrays, we are able to create 10 or any other amount of integer variables. But in this case, I can access them much easier. If I want to create an array, I use the following commands. I say that I want to create an array from the type of an integer. Every time we talk about arrays, these square brackets are used. I name the array. For example, I could say I want to name the new array int array. And now I have to tell Java that I want to create this array in a certain size. If I want to create something, I always use the new keyword. Say again which data type I want to have, and in these brackets I write the number of fields I need. In this case 10, because we want 10 array fields, because we want to use 10 fields with our array. With this variable int array, I am able to reach 10 different variables. For example, if I want to write in this array, then I can do the following. I say that I want to write into the variable int array, into the slot with the number 0. I want to write the value of 0, and the int array counts with an index. Counting starts with 0. And with this, I would, in here, write the first variable. If I would write into the last variable, I would have to use 9 as an index here. If I want to read from an array, then I use the exact same command. I say int array 0, and I can display this on the console. If I write system.out.println, I abbreviate it with console. Then the content of the slot number 0 will be displayed in the array. The comfortable way of working with int arrays can be seen especially when we look at how we can go through such an int array with a for loop. I can do the following. I write for, then the head of the for loop, int I is 0, as long as I is smaller than int array dot length. Because from there we get the information about the length of the int array or of any other int array that can be created. I++. Now I can write into the body, for example, display on the console, which contents are in the respective slot in the int array. And now this I will be counted from 0 up to a number smaller than the length of the array, because it is the control variable of the for loop. And with this we get an I beginning at 0, stopping at 9, because 9 is barely smaller than the length of our array with 10. And now it is very easy to address all of the 10 int variables and to display them, for example, down here. One small thing there is to be considered. Because the variant in which I say smaller or equal doesn't work, because then it will be looked at the int array at the slot 10, because my int array, which I have initialized with a length of 10, only has the slots 0 up to 9. Because of that, we would receive an array out of index exception or an out of bounds exception. And every time this mistake shows up, it is clear that I have used an index value which isn't within the scope of the array.